Blessings, 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 everybody out there in the universe. My name is Sean Myrie, and I'm your host of the Down to Earth podcast. Today, we got a great artist coming on live on YouTube. Your name's Lyssa. Let me get that right. I want to make sure I'm right.
Lyssa.
Yeah.
Lyssa. Yeah.
So, where are you from?
I am from San Diego.
Okay. So,
So,
how long you been doing your
Cali.
music? I see that you have a new single out right now. Like, you're
Yeah, so I've
promoting it
been
a little
doing
bit.
music for a while. Got a lot of projects coming out right now though, so it's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, what's the feedback you've been getting? I like the visuals, like professional and clean. Like, what's the feedback you're getting right now?
I've been getting actually a lot of, girls that, will DM me and stuff and say, they feel like they needed this song, thanking
Hmm.
me and stuff. And that's always, my goal above everything is to stay down to earth and to reach out to people that need the music.
Hmm. I see. I can hear you, Rock. You have any headphones? I need to get some headphones here.
I got headphones, yeah, here.
I think I'll be all right if I got the headphones.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right.
It's all good still. It's down to earth. Live on YouTube with Lysa. New track, Regret, right? So, like, what's the inspiration behind that track?
So, it's kind of just about, a bad failed relationship. And it's just like, when we look back at these relationships, it's usually like, well, if I would have known it was going to end like that, like, I probably never would have messed with you. So, that's kind of like the inspiration. That's kind of the thought process behind why I wrote that song.
Yeah. All right. So you have any more like tracks what you're like developing like ready to release like right after that because that one is like your first like single.
That's my third single. I've done a few features, so those are about to come out on, other people's records. And then I have a few songs about to drop by myself, and then I'm gonna drop an EP around October.
Any big names? Have you been lucky to like connect with anybody who's like in the industry?
So, yeah, big out in Cali. I don't know about big everywhere. So there is a few people that are gonna be on it that I'm really excited for.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Like when I talked to you earlier, I heard that you told me you're coming from a shoot. Was that like another like photo shoot, video
Yeah,
shoot?
I had a photo shoot for a product launch. I'm about to drop a
Ah, that's good. And
clothing
you model
line
too,
for
right?
school. Yeah.
So yeah, tell the people a little bit about that if you know about that
So I
experience.
feel like honestly, modeling in Cali is just kind of, if you feel like you can do it, you should do it because it's a really easy bag at the end of the day. And if you can do it, you can do it. So that's kind of just where my thought process was when I first started modeling. I was like 16. My mom needed help with some shit, and I was like,
Do
well,
you think it helps you network with your music right now? Like it's helping you a little bit than the average artist because you're not just doing one thing. You're doing like the music and the modeling.
yeah, definitely. I think it helps you, one, find actors that actually fuck with you. So when you're coming up as an artist, especially like when I first started my career, if you don't have money to pay for actors and things like that, you have people that look good that are willing to be in your music videos and willing to pop out to videos and stuff like that with you. So,
Yeah. So what's some of your musical inspirations? Like what made you want to really do the music?
um, I'll have to say, you know, Young Money, all of Young Money. I love Lil Wayne. I love Nicki. I love Drake. And then I listen to a lot of like old school rappers. So I got a Uchi Wally remix by Biggie. I'm about
Hmm.
to drop that in about a month. So I'm excited for that.
That's good. That's good to hear that you're versatile. Like some of the, like you say, if you listen to some old school, like could you tell us like a little bit some of that flavor, like what you like from back
So
back in
I
the day?
really like, you know, I think that, in my opinion, might be controversial, but I think old school rap is just really on some different stuff. Like it's a lot harder. People are like, able to make fun and do diss tracks on friends and not really be serious.
Yeah.
So it's like I think now rap is getting softened up and people aren't understanding like, rap is gonna be rap at the end of the day. So
Hmm.
I like to listen to old school rappers because you listen to what they're saying and then you're like, dang, like
That's
this
good to
is
hear. That's
hard.
good to hear because rarely you hear that like from like like a young artist such as yourself. A lot of people just be thinking the stereotype is the trap, it's what's going on, the most
Yeah.
recent music. But you say you like a lot of the old school like rap, but R&B. Do you sing too?
Yes. I am very inspired by like of course Beyonce and Michelle. I think Michelle doesn't get a lot of the credit just because she did come up in an era where it's like NWA is everything. A lot of people don't know she was a part of
Yeah, I
NWA.
remember. I remember that. I remember that name. So you listen to her too. That's good.
Yes, I grew up listening to her. Like my dad would always play her in the car and like I think at my first time that I ever performed, I sang a song by Michelle, Something in My Heart, which is actually in her recent documentary. So it's kind of
That's a
just so
legend, though.
fun.
That's a legend. That's
Yeah.
good. So you're getting inspired by some like great talent. So you will stand out because Michelle, I remember she was around the times when what I think even before Tupac, right?
Yeah.
She done
Before
a lot of music
Tupac.
with Death Row. She done some with Dogtown. She knows the whole camp down there.
Yeah.
So which part of Cali you from?
So I am from Southern California. San Diego is about like 2 hours from LA.
Ah,
So yeah.
so
Um,
how's the music scene right in your section right there?
so in San Diego, I feel like it's a lot of like you gotta branch out. I don't think it's possible to like really have a successful music career and just stay in San Diego. Just because a lot of people down here, they're not supportive.
Mm.
There, there's a lot of hating stuff that goes on with everything.
That's like a lot of places. It's almost
Yeah,
similar like over here, but at least you have a market like where you could easily go to another state, right? And
yeah,
probably if it's not bumping up here, you could go to Florida, you know, Atlanta easily,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Have you been out of state? Like, have you ever like been anywhere else to like explore to like promote your music?
Yeah, so I have I'm getting ready to go to on a trip to three different cities. So I'm gonna hit Atlanta and then Baltimore and then New York. So, and then I've been to New York before. I've been to Vegas before. I lived
Good.
in Arizona and Vegas for a little bit. So I do have, people that tap in with me from out there. So it's
That's
all
good. I
love.
like to hear that. That means you're on the right path. We probably gonna see you on like a bigger stage going.
Yeah. Hopefully. One
Yeah.
day.
So like where do you want to see yourself in the next if like, the next year or so with your music development?
So with music, honestly, I'm just trying to, stay independent.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people, they when you're a smaller artist, they try to throw you these little contracts that
Yeah.
aren't really gonna benefit you in the long run. Like I've got thrown probably like three contracts in the last month, and they
Oh,
just are all like not really what I'm looking for. That I
yeah.
think is really gonna be worth, letting somebody else take control over my career.
Yeah, I see what
So
you're saying.
so my
See what
goal
you're
is
saying.
basically just kind of to stay independent and, work on marketing, keep tapping in with the people I've been tapping in with and,
You're
stay
right. Work on
consistent.
marketing because it's all about the marketing of artists now. If you have to
Yeah.
understand that or overstand that, and that's right. Like you as a female artist. you know how the industry, like, you know, you're learning how the industry is, and you know that it's a male dominated industry. How do you feel it is for the ladies now? Because like I mentioned to many other guests, like especially the ladies, the women are ruling the charts. So like there's a lot of in the urban music.
Mhm. So, I would say that I think a lot of women are still male dominated. Like when you look at what girls are rapping about right now, it's not the same as, Nicki Minaj was rapping about and how hard she was going. Girls could literally talk about their sex life and
Hmm.
whatever and go viral one day on TikTok. So it's like it's a lot different to navigate a male dominated field when it's like, well, sex sells when it's a male dominated field because that's what they want to hear from females. And I think
That's
a
true.
lot of females be scared to step out of that branch and really talk about, real shit and how their life really is, you know?
Yeah, that's where regret. I could see that you had like a storyboard like that. For example, you see like the fella in the video, and you had that the bottle.
Yeah. So props, but um yeah, so I think that's kind of where I'm trying to take my music. Like I got another song coming out pretty soon that's just like kind of like a life story song. That's just kind of the music that I grew up on, which is just like real shit. It's not, you know, because
Oh,
I've been to the studio with managements before and they're like, okay, like this is cool, but when you gonna start rapping about, fucking and what that's like, because, that's what they want you to do.
my
But
brother
it's
said that if
like,
you could turn your phone around, you know, like just turn it
like this,
full screen,
pro screen?
full screen. It's all right. It's all right, man.
I
Just
don't
leave it
think
like
that's
that.
what it says on my phone.
He's a technical wizard. Yeah, but yeah, like there's a lot of girls doing the same thing, the stereotype sex, 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 and there's other stories to like a woman what they go through. You know, everybody
Yeah.
has a different story, but it's just one story being promoted. I understand what you're saying, right?
And I also do think, yeah, it's the promotion. Like City Girls,
Hmm.
they have songs that are, super deep and they put them way down on the track list on the album because they're like, this isn't what our label wants us to push out. When
Hmm.
those are the songs that, there should be a video to, there should be, because, those are the songs that where you're from feels,
You know,
you
one of
know?
my favorite tracks is Tupac's first album, Brenda's Got a Baby. Is it Brenda's Got a Baby?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
And still to this day, when you hear that track, it's like real, right?
Yeah, it's the
That's an
classic.
example.
That's a good example, yeah.
So yeah, who's some of your heroes, like favorite artists? I'll give you
I,
six, a lineup of six, because I'm
a
from the
lineup
six.
of six. Whew. Um, okay. I'm gonna say I put Biggie and Pac on like the same level when it comes to
That's
artists. Like I think Biggie is an inspiration for me because his flow is like unmatched. I don't think there's been a flow like that forever. It's
that
just like so crazy. And then I'd say then probably Nicki.
Nikki. Okay,
Yeah. I love how Nicki kind of did step out of that what females are wanted for, and she chose to sing and rap and do a lot of things that are very versatile and different in the music industry.
mm-hmm.
And then I'll say probably Lil Wayne
Lil
cuz
Wayne.
Lil Wayne could rap for days and
Mm-hmm.
he could sit there and freestyle, and I love to freestyle. I grew up
That's
freestyling.
good,
So it's like,
man. I want to hear some more music.
yeah. And then
That's three. Three more
that's
you got.
three. I got three more. Huh. And then yeah, of course Michelle, Beyonce,
Beyonce.
and then I think last, which is she's kind of a newer artist, is probably Lakia. She's about
What's
the same age as me.
what's her name?
Lakia.
The Kia. You gotta send me the link too, cause
Yeah,
I never
she
heard of
had
her.
that song with City Girls. She's hard. I've been
Mm-hmm.
watching her for a few years now, even though she's like just now getting her time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been watching her Kar's freestyles, all that, and I could respect it. And I like how she stays true to herself. That's respectable.
That's good. You're saying big. You're saying Biggie too at the first, and you're from Cali. You know the stereotype. You think
Yeah,
Tupac.
I
It's
always
maybe
tell people like I think it's not a debate. That's like if we're gonna say Meek or Drake,
yeah,
because they used to be. I'm not picking Meek or Drake because they could both rap. It's two different styles of
yeah,
rap.
yeah. It's true. It is two different styles because Meek is going like that street, that street stuff. He's
Yeah,
telling you
yeah,
about, and then Drake is telling you about like his relationships and his breakups and his like his sense. He's just giving you all of that
yeah. And
business
I think
and
it's
shit like
very
that.
similar with Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah.
Tupac is telling you the sad story in the streets, and Biggie is telling you like,
Hmm.
if I die, I want to go to hell. Like it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
did
like
what I did. I'm in the streets. I did what I did. Life is
yep.
life.
It's like
And
Nas and
Tupac's
Jay
more
Z,
like,
two different flavors. Not
I hope
Jay
you.
Z's party a little bit more than Nas, and Nas is more like if you want to listen to some knowledge or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like you talk about like the females, like you said Nicki Minaj. Is there anyone else like what came before, like because you know you're hip hop? You said Biggie. Once you say Biggie, you know you're hip hop. Is there
Yeah,
any females
I
like
think
legendary?
female rappers, Salt and
Hmm.
Pepper. I think that's a name that doesn't get it kind
You're
of gets
right.
forgotten a
You're
lot.
right. Salt and pepper.
But Salt and Pepper, you feel me? I just love their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Their flow is hard, and I love popcorn rap. Like that's my
No, I used
favorite
to
thing.
listen to them. I grew up listen like I'm a OG. I grew up listening to Salt and Pepper. I
Yeah.
remember
So it's
they were.
like,
I'm not gonna lie. I listened to every. I know their catalog.
yeah, I love them. And then
TLC too. I listened to. People won't believe that.
yeah.
TLC.
Yeah, TLC too. And then I'd also say, um, Lil Kim.
Lil
I
Kim, of
think Lil
course.
Kim gets forgotten about a lot, but you know,
Foxy Brown.
yeah, Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj probably has to. I don't know if she ever admit it, but I know they have to give some type of respect to Lil Kim and Foxy Brown
Yeah.
and
I think she
Gangsta Boo.
definitely will pay her respects, but I honestly think that Nikki, the way she came in the game, her flow is very masculine.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's a lot different than any female we've ever seen because she's rapping about like I'll really pull up with 223s, and
yeah,
that's
yeah. You're
something
right.
that females never really rapped about before. They rapped about
Yeah.
their man toting a gun, and she's rapping about no, I'm toting it. You feel me?
So wait, let me
So
ask you
it's
this
different.
question. Since she done that, is there any other females who have been doing it, trying to do that?
Yeah, I think so. I think every female is a little bit inspired by Nicki Minaj, and if they say they aren't, they're lying. The same way, if Nicki says, I'm not really inspired by Lil Kim,
Yeah,
that's not really true.
facts.
you know. So it's like everything comes full circle. And it's like a
That's
lot of
true.
females, I think that's where the debate comes in because they're like, well, she's not the queen of rap, but we have to look at statistics when it comes to that. Like,
You know, that's like the Jay Z, talk. He has
yeah,
a lot of sales, but some people may think he's not the greatest of all time.
yeah. I mean, I feel like Jay Z is a smart man, So it's like everybody kind of plays that in. Like, is it smarts or is it talent? But when it comes to a female that came up during a time when there's only male rappers around her, like you have to pay your respects.
Hmm.
And that's where a lot of girls get it messed up is because they don't want to pay their respects because they finally are on and they're like, well, I did it too. And
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense because like when you're working hard on your own music, you don't want someone to say like, oh well, everything you do is like another artist
yeah.
because
It's
I
true.
don't think it's everything you do, but there's obviously influence of why you started rapping, why you started doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
facts.
yeah.
Right now, there's a lot of artists, even from Toronto, like a lot of the ladies, and I have no filter. They're doing the same thing with the gangster, like the gangster trying to do the gangster rap.
Yeah, like drill especially, and it's like
Hey,
I think Nikki got that though,
no,
cause
she's from Cali.
I think Nikki got that cause she grew up in New York,
Yeah,
So, she grew up around what's going on. So it's like people start rapping about, I think it makes girls feel more comfortable to talk about what they actually are doing, if they're actually doing it.
and it's funny because you say from Cali. Is any Cali female rappers what inspired you? Because I know a couple.
Um,
Mm.
Honestly,
I want to know. Interesting.
I think I listen to like I don't really be listening to that much music from
From
my
your own.
state besides like guys.
Hmm.
Unless it's artists that, of course, I mess with, I'm friends with, we
Hmm.
collab together, stuff like that. That's different. But I don't think I really have like listened to.
It's interesting because they had a lot of great female artists from Cali. But when I was growing up, like Yo Yo, uh, Lady of Rage, who else? There's what's her name again? E40's sister. Forgot. She's a legend in the game in the Bay Area. Uh, I forgot, man. There's a whole bunch, but I know there's a lot of MCs, female MCs came out of Cali.
Yeah, I know Cali's kind of changed
Mhm.
their flow. And
Mhm.
like, I would say, like, all the artists I mess with now, not really inspired by them, but I hella, like, still mess with their stuff is like Lil Kayla, Saweetie,
Mhm.
artists that are starting to come up and talk about stuff that really goes on in Cali, and it's like
Mhm.
that's crazy because it's like you laugh about it, you hear punchlines, and you're just like she's going hard.
Yeah, that's what I see. Like from that region, if you were to say who's the like, Nicki Minaj is really from New York.
Yeah,
There's no really new big artists from Cali, what I know of, promoting Cali. If they're from Cali, I wouldn't know.
yeah, and I think that the females that are big in Cali don't get big everywhere else because we don't boost them enough. And I think that's on the region in general because Lil Kayla, she goes viral on TikTok. She does all this. She should be,
Mm.
that next artist that's coming out of Cali, but it's because, oh, you know, even she said it. Like Diddy told her she just raps too hard to be on the radio. She's talking about stuff that's just out of people's mind frame of a female to be talking about.
So yo, like when you if you were to tell people your flavor of music, like a description of your music, the inspiration, what they're gonna get from you in the future, what would you tell them? Like what they could expect from you?
I would say that it's probably a lot of, soul, a lot of, you know, a mixture of soul and trap because you weren't always that healed version of yourself, so I do give myself that space. But I also write, music from a space of healing. So some of my songs are gonna be on some hard, this is what I'm on. We're outside, and some of it's gonna be on some, this is what happens when I'm inside. So it's like kind of both of them.
So you have some visuals planned, some ideas, brainstorming what you're gonna do for like your next track after this one. Regret, right?
Yeah, regret it. And after this, I think next up we're probably gonna be dropping Sleazy Flow. So I did a Sleazy Flow and it's about to drop, and you guys will be
Sleepy flow.
excited.
Yeah, man. Make sure you tag us when that comes out. Tag Down to Earth. We'll post it, whatever, share it, remix it. That's what we do.
For sure.
So, yo, if you could work with anybody, like any artist, a wish list, who would you want to work with in the industry if you had a chance?
Um, Future, Lakia. This one's kind of like weird, but Lil Yachty. I
Lil
really
Yachty?
like his flow. I feel like I would make a good song with him. Um, and then like singing wise, I think like Summer Walker, SZA, and
Yeah,
then artists like that.
that's good. That's good. That's a good mix. Summer Walker and what SZA, and I think her. I think those three ladies they brought a new
Yeah,
sound to
a new
what
style of R&B. I know there was
R&B.
that whole R&B is dead, but I think R&B is just kind of, you know,
Mm,
changed more to females than it used to be male dominated.
yeah, because I think those three from SZA, and then you say her. Who I'm missing out? Well, I'm missing out. They have a similar sound. You get what I mean? A similar new type of R&B, hip hop,
Yeah.
trap. They can mix it
Yeah.
up. So that's good.
I like how Summer Walker, she kind of like sings and raps.
Yeah, Summer Walker. They're all in that
Yeah.
same family. Like you, I mean, that same vibe family. You could have and her song, Summer Walker.
Yeah, that song Find a Way that her did with Lil Durk is probably one of my favorite songs.
See,
I
and
love
she
that song.
she probably gets a lot of features. People want features. That's
Yeah.
the next thing. Featuring on people's tracks, or they're featuring on your tracks. So you
Yeah.
said you have a couple of them lined up coming soon. Like,
Yeah.
which one's your most favorite one, if you could mention?
I know I did a song with a Cali artist. His name is Sosa.
Hmm.
So we're going to be dropping that. And I think that was probably one of my favorite collabs to make. It was like kind of random.
Hmm.
So I love random collabs because it's like, nothing's planned. This is just like the vibe of whatever is in the studio going on.
Sosa. So we look out for that when that comes out.
Yeah.
So anything you want to tell the people before we come off this spaceship, where they could connect with you, your website? Do you have anything other endeavors you're gonna be doing, like merch?
So you guys can follow me at Lyssa Colada Official on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's the same on everything. And I'm gonna be dropping a clothing line soon, so it's gonna have a lot of cool Cali-based streetwear. We literally picked this clothing line from downtown LA itself, so it's good products. I'm really excited for it. And like I said, I have an EP dropping in October, so there's more music to come.
And your
And
latest
yeah,
video?
a lot of
They could,
stuff to come up.
and tell them where they could hit you with your latest video. Bring up those,
Oh
views.
yeah, and then you guys can hit me. It's Lyssa C on YouTube, and you guys can watch my music video there. And the song will be on all platforms soon. So
Yeah, much respect for coming through on the Down to Earth. Lyssa, great artist out there in the universe. Subscribe, follow her, and everything. You're gonna see more big things coming out from her.
all
Much
right,
respect.
bye.
Bye. Bless.